Okay guys, in this video we're going to take a different approach to the same concept, but that would be that, given some point r theta in the coordinate plane here, let's say that this is our point r theta, we would know the direction angle that we are heading in with the polar axis, but we would also know the distance r that we've walked away from the pole or the origin in this case. And so that being said, essentially what we want to acknowledge is that we could also write this point as negative r so long as we're going exactly in the opposite direction as what we started with, or another way to look at this is negative r theta plus 180 degrees. But we could also say positive r so long as what we do is we add on a full rotation. We could go the same distance away from the pole, but we have to be coterminal with the original angle. So we say positive r, but theta plus 360 degrees and or minus 360 degrees. I'm going to put an and on this one here. So that being said, I suppose that number 27 here, it just says select the representations that do not change the location at the given point. What I'm going to do is I'm going to basically start by sketching the original point here, which is 7 units from the origin in a 140 degree direction. So I can imagine, 135 is at like a 45 with the x-axis over here. I can imagine then that 140 degree direction right here would be 140 degrees, and I would know that my r value in this case is 7. And so in this case what we want to do is say, well, then which of these 4 points that are given down here, or maybe all of them or maybe none of them, would be the same point as what you gave me here. And so looking at this first one, A, says negative 7 but 320 degrees. Well, now what do I know about 320 degrees? I suppose if I get my calculator here, one thing that I want to show you is that 320 degrees, turn on, 320 degrees minus the initial 140 that I was given, minus 140. The thing here is that they're 180 degrees apart, which means that when I go graph 320 degrees, it's actually going to be facing down in this direction. Here's my 320 degree radial arm, but we're going to walk 7 units backwards, which places me right at the same point. And so in this case, I would say that this is definitely the same as the original point. We're just going 7 units backwards while facing a 320 degree direction. Whereas letter B says, hey, let's do this. Let's go to a negative 40 degree direction, which in this case is coterminal with 320 degrees that are positive, but we're going to walk backwards 7 units. And so this case, this one's actually fair to say as well, because even though we're facing in a negative 40 degree direction, we're walking backwards 7 units from there, and negative 40 is 180 degrees separation from 140 degrees, which was the given angle. Now, looking at letter C here, negative 7, 220, 220, thinking about this, 180 is here, so 220 would be kind of like here, and so I would be going 7 units backwards actually, away from this direction here, but 220 degrees there going 7 units backwards would kind of put you over here. And so in this case, that would not work for us there. And so this is not equivalent. And when you look at letter D here, it says let's go 7 units, but let's do so in a negative 220 degree direction. Now a negative 220 means that I would have to rotate clockwise around to here. But what do we know about negative 220 in relation to the original angle here? They're coterminal. They land in the same spot. So I can have a positive r, I can keep the same r value as long as what I did was I took the original angle and I added on or subtracted off 360. And I just want to show you here, if I take negative 220 and I add on 360, then I would be facing 140 here, the same as the original direction. And so in this case, I would say that this one also is the same thing because it'll land in the same spot. So just keep your mind open to the fact that any of these could represent that same point. If you're going to be facing the other direction though, and do a negative r value, you either have to add on or subtract off pi radians or 180 degrees. And if you want to use the same r value, the positive r value that you were given to begin with here, you're going to have to face an angle that is coterminal with the given angle, or add on or subtract off 360 degrees or 2 pi radians. Cheers.